Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Mr. BuildWealth, and I'm back at it again. If this is your first time tuning in, I'm here to share some information and resources to help you get started with building wealth. And the topic for this session is leave a whole lot of money. I have conversations a lot with clients and prospective clients around like wealth building, right? I call my movement the Build Wealth movement, and I say that for a reason because wealth is extremely challenging for a lot of people to create and sustain and it to be handed down from generation after generation. So somebody had said this, I think it was on a podcast or something I was reading, I can't remember, but they were making the distinction between wealthy families and like poor families. And here was the difference. The guy was saying, do you know why, excuse me, he was like, do you know why wealthy like grandkids know who their great grandparents, aunties, and uncles are? It's because they left them something. And when I thought about that, I was like, that's interesting. Because if you come from wealth, like your family may have a ton of businesses, they may have a ton of assets, they may like have a statue, they may have, houses, apartment complexes, commercial, but they may have something tangible that like great grandkids could say, I know that person, and has never met them, but they know the story, and that story has been handed down. And I think about those types of stories, and I think about like poor families. They don't even know who their grandparents are, great grandparents, and it's because you don't really want to stay connected to somebody who didn't leave you anything but like bills and a headache. It's already sad that, that they passed away, that they've died, but they ain't leave you shit. So leave your family a whole lot of money and watch how your family flourishes. Like, I don't know why we're trying to fight this, like doing the right thing for the sake of your family. And you got to leave them something like substantial. I have talked to parents who don't have life insurance. Blows my mind. Or they say, I have some coverage through the job. Not enough. Like, I know it's a quick cop out to avoid having to be sold something, but my goodness, we are underinsured as a people. And wouldn't it be nice, the people you say you love, how about you leaving them a fat ass check to start? Now, if you got a substantial amount of real estate, same thing applies. The reason that a lot of wealth falls through the hands of people who aren't wealthy is because they don't have enough money to sustain the property. So I've heard countless stories from my real estate friends. Countless stories. Family, like mom, grandma, auntie, whoever, passes away, has all this real estate. The remaining family members are so broke that their first thing is to sell out. Doesn't matter what kind of market it is, they are just ready to sell and get that money. Now, what if, let's just say they had some life insurance and like a substantial amount, like adequate amount. And it was a sum of money that they could, obtain after said family member passed away. So now you're not in a hurry to sell that property. Let me know if this is making sense or not, but you're not in a hurry to sell an asset when you have a whole lot of money in the bank. You can just sit and watch. You can fix it up. You may be able to accumulate more property. But I'll say we mean like poor people who don't have any real wealth. We're so quick to sell stuff off, even if it's land, like the same thing, land, property. Our families don't have any money. So as soon as somebody dies, our first decision is, what assets do they have that we can sell to get the cash? So how about we flip the script? How about you just leave your family a whole lot of money so then they can decide in the comfort of their home, like what makes the most sense? Not this pressure-filled decision. Gosh, they had 10 houses. We're probably going to need to sell all 10 because I've got bills. I got to pay off their bills. And before you know it, you've liquidated all these assets. And now you're kind of starting back from ground zero. So now your family, who you thought you were doing well by, they've left you nothing. So I need you to figure this out in terms of how you're going to leave your family a whole lot of money. And please don't say, well, they'll figure it out when I'm dead. That's bullshit. They're not going to figure it out unless you tell them. Like, some of them will get it together at some point. But how about you leave them a whole lot of money and some assets, and leave them some instructions. Now that's the trifecta. Leave them some money, leave them some other assets, and leave some instructions. That's how we disrupt generational poverty. That's how you build wealth. That's how you create a lasting legacy. So long after you're gone, your family will still remember you because you didn't leave them with a headache or bills. Because money makes all the difference in this world. And if it doesn't, please tell me what world you're living in. Because when I'm looking at the data, when I'm speaking to prospective clients, when I'm speaking to my clients, I listen to their responses and I'm just like, they're never going to be wealthy. Like, just the way you think about money is very important. But maybe you don't care about your family as much as you say. Maybe you don't love your family as much as you say. I love the hell out of my family. And whatever I can accomplish in this lifetime, I want them to be able to do it. Again, I look at my life and my entrepreneurial journey and I think about like the jobs that I've had. And I'm like, man, what would I want somebody else to experience if I had a chance to do better? Now, most parents think of that way, but they don't execute on the plan or the strategy. So my parents, they did it. I'm the youngest of three, and I've talked to them about like why they did what they did, and it was very simple. We want to give y'all a better head start in life. And your only goal is to do a little bit better than we did. Because we're all limited in what we know. And when you know better, you should do better. And then you should share that shit with your family. Like, why are we holding on to good information? And why are we sometimes fighting it? So I think a lot of us will continue to have these hard lessons where somebody will die and it's a mess to clean up. And then there's no money. And then you got all these assets. You didn't even know where they were. And so it causes this big old mess. But again, let's just say you had some term insurance and a whole lot of it, like more than what your job offers you. And there was a check waiting when you produced a death certificate. Your family member could almost probably quit their job for a while. If there was some substantial money, they could quit their job if they're the executor of your estate, and they could clean up all your mess. Because when somebody dies, there are like 200 plus decisions that have to be made. And that is a full-time job. Full-time job. So leave your family a pool of money. And then that way, they can make that decision on how fast they move on things, how slow they move. And you all know this because we've lost family members, and it's always who's going to pay for the wedding? I mean, for the funeral. Who's going to pay for the cremation? Who's paying to like go pack up all their stuff if, you know, they live out of state or out of the country? Like, where is the money coming from? Look, if you love your family, I beg you, leave them a whole lot of money. And then when it's your time to set up this family structure, start planning to leave your family a whole lot of money. And if we just rinse and repeat this process, this is how we disrupt generational poverty. But until we do that, it's going to be a tough road for a lot of us. So leave your family a whole lot of money. And it's okay if you didn't get to experience certain things in this lifetime that you fantasized about, that you dreamed about. But don't let those feelings, like those, you're just mad. Like, you're mad that you couldn't do it. So now you're going to prevent somebody else from doing it who you say you love. Like, why would you put your kids through that? Like, if you couldn't do it, wouldn't it be dope as hell if your kids could live that out? And then they told a story about how you did all that you could while you were here. And then they were able to do it a step better. And then their family, then they have a family and they repeat the process. Like, that's what wealthy families do. This isn't anything new that I'm sharing with you. There are just people in this world who just ain't thinking straight. Wake the hell up. Leave your family a whole lot of money and watch how the family dynamics change. And it will take a couple of generations. So if you're not courageous enough to take this step, peace out. I don't care. I'm not trying to help you. If you aren't about this life, then so be it. But the life that I fantasize and dream about is going to take some hard work. And I know I won't accomplish everything, but I damn sure am going to leave my family. I'm going to leave them a whole lot of money. So they can just kick back, relax, have a drink on my behalf. They can grieve effectively. And then we won't be in such a hurry to sell off assets. All right. So if you're still trying to figure out this game called like financial planning, the money game, and you're living in this life of you think you're successful, but your balance sheet shows otherwise, holla at me. Hit me up. Links in my bio. Schedule a 15-minute call. Maybe you need an hour. Maybe you need to become a client of mine. And maybe I can help you like on this journey to building wealth. Like I'm really good at this. But I just know we're just not thinking right, or we're not taking the proper actions. So if I can help, let me know. But I seriously believe that most families will be in such a better place if we just thought about leaving them a whole lot of money. But for some reason, we don't, I guess, care enough to do so. So I'll catch you all next time. I appreciate you tuning in. Have a good rest of your day.